Hey kids, welcome to 7th grade language arts. My name is Mr. McConnell, and today we're going to talk about your first project, which is a video introduction. So you can see I've got a Google Slides presentation to kind of give you some visuals with what I'm about to discuss as it regards your video. So first, let me give you an overview of what the project looks like. You're going to create a video that introduces yourself to the class. When you're done, you're going to share a link on a Google Doc that I've shared with you. And then lastly, you're going to watch the videos created by your peers to help you get to know your classmates. So the video should be between 2 and 8 minutes in length. And you can see I've got a number of different categories there. The first category is just some biographical information. Your name, your birthday, tell us a little bit about your family. The next one is free time, and so you could take that a lot of different ways. That could be how you spent your summer break most recently, or it could be just how you generally like to spend your free time overall. Next category is likes and dislikes. This could include your hobbies and things that you enjoy doing, or it could be things that you like to eat, whatever you like. And then for your dislike, you could use a pet peeve if you choose. So that could be set up, my pet peeve is, and then you can fill in the blank with one of your pet peeves. The next category is goals. So I'm looking for one short-term and one long-term goal minimum. For the short-term goal, that could be for today, that could be for this week, that could be for the first grading period this school year. You can kind of determine what constitutes short-term, but I'm looking for one short-term goal and then one long-term goal. And long-term could be for this school year, or it could be for beyond this school year. So that could be like, I want to be a blank when I grow up. Next is thoughts on reading and writing. I'm just curious to know, how do you feel about reading? How do you feel about writing? Whether you perceive those to be strengths and weaknesses and that sort of thing. And last is the extras category. If there's anything else that you'd like to share with us to help us get to know you better, feel free to add it into the extras category. So as you can see, the point breakdown adds up to 50 total points. This assignment is one of our first big grades. You want to make sure that you do your best so you earn as many points as possible, but also so we can get to know you as well as we can. So for filming, if you're not sure what that's going to look like, I'm guessing most of you have access to either a phone or a device of some sort that you could use to film. If not, we've got a couple of other options, such as your desktop computer, or if you're having issues beyond that, you can contact me using my Wazoo Schools email, and I'll help you problem solve. But to upload your video, you could use YouTube, you can use Screencast-O-Matic, you can use Loom to create and post that on the internet. So if you're having any troubles, I would strongly recommend that you use tutorials or YouTube clips. One that I found helpful, especially the first minute and a half, you can see I included a link for you. You're welcome to use that or find some of your own resources. And as I said just a moment ago, if you're having any trouble, please feel free to contact me at my Wazoo Schools email. I'm happy to help out. Once you're done filming, you'll need to share your final product so that I can see it and grade it, and so that your peers can see it as well. So first, make sure that you log in using your Wadsworth City Schools username. Next, you're going to want to go to your Google Drive and open up the Google Doc that I shared with you. It should be the only one from me thus far. If you're having trouble finding it, you could click on Shared With Me. It's a tab on the left-hand side on your Google Drive, and you should see a Google Doc to share your video with me. Make sure you include your name. That's going to go on the left side of the table within that Google Doc. And then on the right side, you're going to copy and paste the link to your video. And as you see at the bottom there, please be careful. Make sure that you're not accidentally or intentionally messing up anyone else's information. We want to be able to watch the video and know who it came from. If there are any issues that arise with this, I do have backups, but to keep it simple and keep it classy, make sure you're not messing with anybody's projects. So next up, I'll give you an example of kind of what I'm looking for. Obviously, you can see that I've used Google Slides plus video. That's using Screencast-O-Matic. So my name, as I said at the beginning, my name is Mr. McConnell. I've been teaching in Wadsworth 5 years. I also coach here in Wadsworth. Really enjoying my time here. My birthday is September 14th. I was born during our county fair, which is always kind of a good adventure growing up on a farm, having a fair birthday. Except for that one year my parents forgot about it. That was rough. But you can see in the middle of the screen here my family. I've got two sisters. My older sister is on the left-hand side with her husband and her baby, and my younger sister is on the right-hand side with my mom and dad. Some things that I did this past summer, I had the privilege of coaching a state champion 4x8 team at the state track meet. That team actually ran the fastest time in the nation, which is something that we were really proud of them for accomplishing, as well as an individual state champ in the 800. In addition to coaching track, I also had the opportunity with my brother-in-law, who you saw in the family photo. He and I had the chance to hike the Grand Canyon from one rim to the other in a day, which was quite an adventure. Really happy to be able to tell you about it because that means I survived. It was quite a lot of fun. Moving on to the next category, that would be free time. In my free time, as I said, I coach track. I also coach basketball. Growing up, I played a lot of different sports and really enjoy sports. You'll hear me use a lot of sports references in class. So definitely one of my passions is sports, but I also grew up on a farm, as I alluded to earlier. Grew up on a beef farm. My dad was an ag science teacher at the high school where I attended. And also during this summer, as kind of a challenge with my family, I had a 50-item summer bucket list that I worked really hard to accomplish. So that was kind of how I spent my summer. As far as likes and dislikes are concerned, I really like sports. I really like nature. Especially animals, things like that. And I also like board games. If you've ever heard of Settlers of Catan, that's one that I really enjoy playing. My friends love to play that at my house. We really have fun challenging each other and competing and playing board games. Lastly, my pet peeve, or one of my pet peeves, because as I found as I've grown older, I'm kind of a sympathetic pet peever. When you say, hey, this is my pet peeve, and I haven't heard it before, I start to think, you know what? That's starting to bother me now too. But one of my pet peeves, especially as a teacher, is nose picking. As middle school students, you either A, shouldn't be picking your nose, or B, you should be a lot better at hiding it. It's kind of alarming the number of kids that I see picking their nose and sometimes even eating it. So please don't let that be you. It's gross. It doesn't belong in the classroom. Don't be a nose picker. Moving on, some goals that I have for this year. Short term, my goal for me personally is I want to learn all of your names within the first week, hopefully by the end of the first day. That's kind of a challenge that I set for myself each year. And then a long-term goal is, my goal is to help you improve your reading level. Specifically, I want to help you improve your lexile by the end of the year. My goal is that every single one of my students sees their lexile go up thanks to the hard work and the things that we do here in class. Lastly, my thoughts on reading and writing. As you can probably guess, I really enjoy reading as a language arts teacher. I try and take it upon myself to read in my free time, and I try and read the books that you guys read. So if you tell me, hey, this book is really good, I really enjoyed that book, I'll try and go find it and hunt it down and read it, which sometimes leads to some awkward or interesting situations where, I go to the bookstore and I'm checking out a book that has this bright pink cover and everybody's looking at me like, wait a minute, why are you buying that book? But I do that for you guys. So if you ever have a book recommendation, don't be shy about sharing it with me. I love talking books. As far as reading goes, as far as writing goes, I'm not a big writer. Obviously, I recognize that it's important. I would say that I like to challenge myself to use big words or new words in my writing. So sometimes I joke with my friends that I sound better on paper than I do in person. But poetry is actually something that I didn't enjoy growing up, but is probably one of the ways that I write the most now. I kind of enjoy writing from the template of limericks or the silly roses are red, violets are blue types of poem, just to get laughs and make people chuckle. So someday I'm kind of hoping that I can become a published children's author using some of my skills in writing and poetry. So that's my introductory video. That's me, Mr. McConnell. Looking forward to seeing what you guys can produce, and looking forward to a great year in language arts. Thanks, kids.